Well, my favorite thing about the vampires on True Blood is that they completely blend into society.
Bill comes back to Montauk to try and be a good man and show that it's possible for vampires to exist in the same world as a human.
True Blood is a synthetic blood which has been created by the Japanese, and it allows vampires to not have to use humans to feed. So they don't have to indulge in behaviors that are, you know, quote-unquote evil or dark.
On our show, to be made vampire, you have to be at the point of death.
And then you let him or her drink your blood a lot, and then you're buried together.
And I was buried with him while he watched over me, and I rose from the ground. That was a really fun scene to shoot, actually being buried alive. And I rose from the dead, a vampire.
So in the world of True Blood, you can kill a vampire by staking, you know, wooden stake through the heart or any stake through the heart.
If you sever the spinal cord and completely take off a vampire's head, that will also do the job.
You can burn to death because fire is basically light. I mean, what is the sun except a big ball of fire?
If you bleed out, if somebody cuts you and removes all your blood, you will bleed out and you won't live.
Silver does wound them and burn them and irritate them, but it doesn't kill them.
Crosses are not something that affect our vampires. Mirrors are not a way of detecting a vampire because you can be seen in a mirror in our world. Got any other ideas?
The vampire gets stronger with age, and I think the powers increase, and also new powers come into play the older you get. Flying, for instance.
They also can put you in a trance just by looking at you. So once you've been glamored, you're putty. It's like being hypnotized.
It's a beautiful weapon. May I have it? Sure. I guess.
Do you enjoy it, living halfway up his backside the way you do?
Yes, it's nice. You should try it.
The relationship between maker and progeny is a very intense personal relationship.
He's your maker, isn't he?
Don't use words you don't understand.
You have a lot of love for him.
I really think to Pam, Eric is everything. It's this father-daughter relationship, but also best friend.
The maker would have a sensitivity to his child, be able to sense where they are, possibly what they're thinking.
And that connection is very strong between the maker and his child.
I won't let you die alone.
Yes, you will.
A maker has the ability to say to his or her progeny, as your maker, I command you, and they have to do it.
Jessica, let him go!
But
As your maker, I command you!
Each state has a king or a queen who oversees the vampires in that state. Each state is developed into a series of areas, and each area has a sheriff.
I know that the Magister, for instance, works at the behest of the overall authority. So I think there's this governing body of vampires who set law and kind of arbitrate disputes.
And there are power struggles. I think as we'll see in season 3, the kings and queens don't necessarily always get along, and they're not always playing by the rules. And some of the lower classifications of vampires get caught up in that.
You're a vampire.
Wow. Alan has given these vampires an emotional history that makes playing the stuff fun.
I find it really attractive to play and to be involved in because they are absolutely three-dimensional human beings who have passions and pain and motivations that are understandable.